How's it going? Smashing! Okay, so that was Old Age by Nirvana. Now, the earliest known recording of this song was back in 1991 when Nirvana were doing rehearsals for the Nevermind material. They did like a boombox tape with the intention of giving it to Butch Vig as a way of just familiarising himself with their current material at that time. Obviously Butch Vig was the guy that produced Nevermind. They did attempt to record the song during the Nevermind sessions, but only really got the basic tracks down with a scratch vocal over the top, and then I think they kind of just abandoned it after that because they had a lot more other tracks they were trying to focus on for Nevermind. It's kind of a shame really, because I think with a bit of work and everything it could have been a great song, but I don't know. Nevermind's a fantastic album, so I don't think we're really missing anything in that respect. I believe Kurt did do a home recording version on acoustic guitar while he was living in LA. And I think they also considered playing it on the Unplugged in New York performance, but that didn't happen either. So I don't know, I think in a way we kind of missed out, but hey ho. The song was eventually recorded and released in 1993, but not by Nirvana. It actually featured as a B-side for Hole's Beautiful Sun single, obviously Hole being Courtney Love's band. And at the time it was unknown as a Kurt Cobain composition, and basically Courtney Love and the rest of Hole claimed authorship of it. And I think Kurt was fine with that because at the time he, like I said, he was dissatisfied with the song, so he ended up giving it to Courtney. In 1997, Courtney did actually admit that someone else actually wrote parts of it, but she never actually disclosed whom. However, the following year, Old Age did find itself to be the subject of some controversy because the old demo recordings Nirvana had done of Old Age managed to find their way to the Seattle newspaper, The Stranger, and yeah, that basically just revealed that Kurt Cobain had written the song and not Courtney Love. Yeah, so like I said, I think Kurt was dissatisfied with the song anyway, and he did end up giving it to Courtney Love, but to be honest, I think she was pretty happy to take it because obviously Kurt Cobain was an amazing songwriter. So, yeah. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not really the biggest Hole fan in the world. The only song I really know of theirs is Celebrity Skin, and that's basically just because it briefly featured in American Pie back in the late 90s. So I'm not the best person to come to when it comes to, like, you know, Hole's back catalogue and all that. I don't know, it just seems a bit dishonest, if you ask me, that, you know, Courtney claimed that she wrote the song. I believe she wrote a lot of the lyrics for it, but, you know, the melody and the composition and all that, that was basically Kurt Cobain. So, I don't know, maybe it would have even been better financially if she said she'd co-written it with Kurt. I don't know. I don't particularly want to get too bogged down in the whole Courtney Love, Kurt Cobain controversy and all those conspiracy theories that are out there on the internet and all that. But having said that, I have watched Soaked in Bleach, I've watched Kurt and Courtney, and I've read Heavier Than Heaven. And I've watched plenty of interviews with Kurt and with Courtney, and yeah, I don't know, she definitely does come across as, like, you know, slightly deceptive and, you know, out for herself in some respects. Even Anthony Kiedis says in his book that he spent time with Kurt and Courtney, and it did kind of seem like she was, like, in control of the whole situation, and, you know, she wanted him to do tours that he wasn't really happy about doing because he wasn't well, you know, with drug addiction and stomach problems and whatever it was he had wrong with him. Yeah, it kind of seemed in a way like she was kind of using him to promote her own band and become famous, you know, instead of doing it off her own back kind of thing. But honestly, you know, I don't know Courtney Love, I don't know the woman, so I can't, you know, give you a sort of valid perspective on that. All I can say is what I've been fed from the internet and, you know, from documentaries and what I've read and all that. So, yeah, anyway, enough of that. Just because I'm not the biggest Hole fan in the world, that doesn't mean that I don't like women in the realm of rock music kind of thing. There's plenty of bands out there that feature women as either guitarists or singers or whatever that I absolutely adore, so, you know, it's got nothing to do with that at all. Just to get it out there before people type away saying I'm sexist or whatever, because that's definitely not the case. I mean, one of my particular favourites is Paramore, and that's basically because when me and my wife first got together, we listened to Paramore a lot together, so yeah, that definitely holds some fond memories, but there's plenty of bands out there that feature women that I love, so yeah, before you start typing away saying shit like that, yeah, it's not true. other than all that crap, Old Age is a pretty simple song to play. I doubt I played it 100% correctly, as I always say, because this was literally a one and done kind of situation. I just sat down, set everything up, recorded it in one take, and that was it, I was done. So yeah, that's the best I could do with the brief amount of time I had to do this, as always. Other than that, yeah, there's not really much else to say, to be honest. It's in standard tuning, so you know that's nice and simple in that respect. No buggering around with different tunings and that, just standard and all is well. Yeah, I'm not going to mention the big thing in the news at the moment because you know your videos get demonetized for that. But I hope everybody out there is staying safe and you know not putting yourself in situations which might get you in an unhealthy situation. You have to be very careful about how you mention these things on YouTube because they're a bit funny about it. Other than that, yeah, stay safe everybody, and hopefully this will all blow over soon enough. With a bit of luck anyway. If I do have to segregate myself away from the rest of the world, then that's not really necessarily a bad thing for me because it means I can do videos more often for a while, but I don't know, I want to keep going to work and everything and making money and all that, so whatever. Yeah, take it easy guys, hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Bye. In 1991, when Nirvana were doing demo versions, like while they were rehearsing tape with kind of the intention of familiarising Butch Vig with you know Nirvana's current material, I suppose you could say. 1991 as a demo version on a cassette tape for Butch. Fuck's sake, I'm so stupid. They did attempt to record the song during the Nevermind sessions, but it was never completed. The basic track just had like, you know, the... Just because I'm not the biggest fan of Hole, that doesn't mean that I don't like women in the whole world of rock music, because there's plenty of bands out there that have women in them, as either, you know, recording it on a boombox, like with an acoustic guitar later on, but again, that never really developed into anything. I believe they did consider playing it for the Nevermind... Oh, I'm so stupid!